Communities are now really recognizing that broadband is essential utility for economic development. They see that as necessary as electricity or a good highway, a good airport. And so it's really a matter of making sure that both the services are there and that the people then can take advantage of those services for community vitality. Cook County and Gunflint Trail is a very special place, and the people who live there are people who have chosen to live in the wilderness, and but at the same time, very sophisticated community.
The Gunflint is a 60-mile wilderness drive, dead ends up here in the bush, so we're not a thoroughfare to anywhere. Although Grand Marais is our address, people forget that it's another hour's drive into the wilderness country from there.
Thank you for calling Gunflint Lodge. This is Katie. How can I help you?
We've moved away from wood products and fishing and mining into tourism. Tourism is our primary economic sector here.
Well, this is our fishing license machine that we run for Minnesota fishing licenses, and it's on a straight dial-up line. We have a designated phone line for it. It's rather slow at times from the startup and stuff like that.
And if we get one little blip, whatever our credit card transaction or licensing transaction was, completely is voided and we must start all over again. Sometimes the simple move of selling a fishing license may take us 15 to 20 minutes, which should take a minute or two. And the area that we're at the distinct disadvantage of presently is we cannot take online reservations. Frustrating as the devil to us because our competition can. In much of rural America, and particularly rural Minnesota, as we know it among this part of the state, we're still second-class citizens in that regard, and it's starting to haunt us.
It's taken us 2 or 3 years of very hard, consistent work to get us to this point. We've worked through several different models, several different ways to finance it, several different ways to own and operate an infrastructure to support the broadband ubiquitously everywhere. That's been a critically important factor of what we're trying to accomplish, is that it's available to everyone. We need to be patient. It is going to take probably up to 2 years before we're actually able to turn things on and really get going with what I believe is the most exciting next phase, is actually applying the tool to the needs that we've identified. Tool being the broadband connection.
Western Minnesota is extremely rural and has lost population over the last decades, and so their whole survival is something that they really think about. Lac La Parle has been amazing in the progress they've made in a short period of time, not only on the telecommunications network side, the fiber optic side, but on their training of businesses, their new mobile computer lab, and just a general enthusiasm for the project.
I've never lived anywhere but Lac La Parle County. Deep family roots and ties to this community. We think that it's the best place in the world to live. You know, we're a very rural county, so ag has probably a hand in a lot of the things that we do.
I can see our community growing with the coming of broadband.
This is our one opportunity to become more technologically advanced as a whole.
The rest of the county has been looking to get broadband services, fiber connectivity into it. And so we've been talking with different folks throughout the years, and Pam Lehman came along and said, you know what, why don't we look at building the remaining part of the county with fiber to the prem? And we said, sure, we're interested in looking at it. What are you thinking? How should we do it?
So we brought everybody to the table, the existing providers, the employers, the public sector, the government, the health care, brought all these people in, and everybody had great ideas, and everybody could really see where the benefit would come if we could make this happen.
Lac La Parle County's done a great job being able to pull that together, being able to really develop some broadband strategies as a county, and they saw this as the next logical step. Let's put the infrastructure to get it done.
My great-grandfather started this farm in 1884, so it's been about 126 years now.
For one animal, you know, slower internet now, it probably takes you 10 to 15 minutes just to get one animal registered, where you probably could cut that time, you know, maybe in half with a little bit faster internet, so that would save a guy a lot of time right there too.
And so if we can find a way to take this technology and make the family farm more profitable, more viable.
And if you notice, there's keyboards here in these drawers. With the computer commuter, we're offering access for free, no charge at all. You can come in and use the computer, you can get internet access, and you also have access to help.
It's one of those hands-on things. You got to try it to find out about it.
So that's going to do a couple things. It's going to increase the knowledge base, which then in turn should increase the demand for quality internet service. So it does all kind of roll in together into the whole project. So
feel free to use this as a way to ask questions as well.
Deer River, and really there's a whole group in Itasca County, the Itasca Area Education Collaborative, that has really been thinking about technology as a tool in the classroom, and I think they've really seen the wide range of things that the technology enables. Some people get very narrowly focused in one area, but I think the Deer River schools, as part of that greater Itasca group, has a much bigger picture that they're looking at.
The Deer River School District covers 540 square miles, and we have about 850 children in those 540 square miles. It's very sparse, and that means a lot of miles for buses and a lot of time on buses for kids. The idea of socialization for children in the 21st century has a completely different than we're used to. How they connect to their peers is different. What a conversation means to them is different, and how they access information and learn. Students in the 21st century are used to and demand just-in-time learning. As a school district, we're committed to our kids having opportunities, and regardless of where they live. We've had a situation in Deer River where the high school has had high-speed fiber coming to our building here for 20-some years.
Coming to Deer River, I mean, I have to drive, you know, like you said, like 40 miles a day. And it's just, I can drive here to Deer River and I get these awesome opportunities, you know. This online program, it offers so many different classes. It's just amazing to me, especially this marine biology. You know, most schools that I know of don't offer marine biology, and it's just, I'm really interested in it, so it's really cool that I get to be able to do this.
You know, we have to evoke that passion for learning again because it's starting to die down, and so if we can do that by incorporating things they already love doing, it's going to be a much easier place for us to teach, a much easier place for them to learn.
When you put those things together, you really have a student like Libby who has an interest, has the drive, and now has the opportunity, because of the uniqueness and the programming that we can deliver here right in this building, because of broadband.
Whether it's a big investment of $10 million or more to change the infrastructure for a whole county, or when we see the difference in a school district and their ability to deliver services, meet the needs, and get the kids excited about the possibilities of learning and careers. And when we see businesses start to thrive, being very successful e-businesses, selling goods and services all over the world, that's the exciting part.